Hi, it's me, Simon, again. I say, who doesn't like to hate the BBC? It, I hate the BBC. I can't stand the organisation now. I used to respect it. I think most people did. The British Broadcasting Corporation, government controlled, but with freedom to generate content as it wished. It had some fantastic programs that they used to generate, and there were very rarely any issues. There was very rarely any complaints. Oh, I'm sure Mrs. Whitehouse probably complained about some of the stuff she saw on there, but I'm sure they probably, you know, corrected it and took it off air as soon as possible. But now, it seems to be that their content is aimed at pleasing minority groups. And I'm not going to make a big deal about who those minority groups are. I don't want to turn this into an argument about what's right and wrong. But the point is, they are aiming their content at minority groups, which means that they're doing it to the exclusion of the majority. Now, the majority of people who watch TV may well be prepared to put up with that. I don't know how they measure viewer figures, but you often see, 6 million people watched this program last night. And that, as far as I understand, is based on a relatively small number. I mean, we're talking about thousands of people here who have a box in their house. Used to be connected to a telephone line, but I guess it's now on the internet. And they tell the organisation that's doing the polling what channels they're watching for how long and that sort of thing, and then they just interpolate that as, if 600 of the 2,000 people are watching Match of the Day, then 30% of the population of the country was watching Match of the Day, which of course is rubbish, but it's the closest they're going to get to finding out how many people watch certain things, how popular they are. But now and it's always been the same, that when the radio license first came out, you could only listen to a radio with a license. I believe it was free originally, but then I think they charged for it. But certainly when the television license came out, which of course was black and white originally, you had to pay for it, and it was a few pounds, nothing fantastic. And I suspect it was just a contribution to the cost of the BBC, because it was a government institution. So the BBC was supported by the government. It was supported from taxpayer money. These days, you're paying hundreds of pounds for a colour TV license. I don't even know whether they do black and white TV licenses anymore, because I've never seen a black and white TV on sale anywhere recently. But a colour TV license is extremely expensive, and especially for pensioners. And it's not just the fact that there's a TV license there that has to be paid for if you want to watch the BBC. You have to have that license if you want to watch any live broadcast TV. Now, lots of people on the internet, on YouTube, are explaining this, so I'm not going to be the first one. But basically, if it's live from BBC ITV, Channel 4, ITV2, or any of those other channels that you could originally get via terrestrial TV on your aerial, or via a satellite dish from Sky, but they were terrestrial, and that would include foreign channels, like Canal, the French one. Any time-shifted ones, i.e. +1 channels, where, if you were a bit late getting home from work and you wanted to watch something, you could watch the +1 channel and it was time-shifted by an hour. Still live TV as far as the British Broadcasting Company or Corporation are concerned. You have to have a license to watch that. And now they've even got it down to streaming services. So if you go on a streaming service like Netflix and you watch the BBC on there, and it's content that is simultaneously being transmitted live via their other channels, then you need to have a license to watch that. Obviously, if you're streaming Netflix content, providing it's not a live stream, then you don't need a license. When I say live stream, so if Netflix decided to do a news show, for instance, then and they sent someone out to interview people in the street or whatever, and they had someone in the studio sort of communicating with them and linking all the outside broadcast stuff, that is live television. That is covered by the TV license. You need a TV license to watch that. So BBC iPlayer, pretty much you can't watch anything on BBC iPlayer. ITVX, you can't watch anything on ITVX without a license. It's only when you pay extra to stream content that you stream on demand. So it's not being broadcast live anywhere, or if it is, it's a coincidence. Then you don't need a TV license for that. That's the way I work with TV licensing here at home. So I don't need to watch the BBC or ITV because, quite frankly, it is so rare for them to actually create content that has any interest for me at all, that I don't see the point in paying money for a license to watch it. When they do create something good, like a detective series, I like detective series. So Father Brown, for instance, I have paid for a license to stream Father Brown off the Apple TV Plus network, and not as streaming content, but I have a license to watch it whenever I want. So I can download it and keep it locally. So it's effectively the same as owning a DVD. That to me is the way that is best to watch the TV you like watching. But what really, really bugs me is less than 2 years ago, I responded to a request from the BBC, or from TV licensing, as they call themselves, who asked me to confirm I didn't need a TV license. And they tell you at the beginning all the things that you need a TV license for, but they're very clever about how they do it. They leave bits out. They make things specifically ambiguous so that people are more likely to pay for a license when they don't need one. And that is wrong, in my opinion. If you don't watch live TV, then you don't need a TV license. After having told you all these things you can't watch without a TV license, they say, please confirm, do you need a TV license? And you say, no, I do not need a TV license. They then go on to tell you what's going to happen to you if they find out you do need a TV license. And then they ask you again, do you need a TV license? No, I don't need a TV license. And after that, they go on to tell you all the things you're missing. And I'm thinking, you have got to be fucking joking. You've got nothing to offer me that makes me want to watch live TV. If something suddenly comes up, I'll see it appear in YouTube as a snippet of something which I can watch legally. I don't need to have a TV license to watch that because it's not currently being broadcast. It might not legally be being streamed on YouTube because it's copyrighted content, but while it's there I can watch it. And if I think, oh, that's a good series, then I'll go and buy it on a download service, and I will pay for a license to have that, have an infinite license to watch that, which is the way I like to do things. So having told me all the things I'm going to miss, they then ask you once again, are you sure you don't need a TV license? And when you say no to that, they say, thank you for letting us know that you don't need a TV license. And I'm thinking to myself, I've told you about 5 times now I don't need a TV license. We will not ask you again for 2 years. And I thought to myself, that's funny. It's less than 2 years since you last asked me, and you still damn well asked me again. But they do say, because 1 in 8 people who say they don't need a TV license actually do need a TV license, we may call round to make sure that you don't need a TV license. And I'm just thinking to myself, you are nasty, horrible people. You have nothing to offer in exchange for all this money. You just have the support of the government. And the sooner that we get a government in place that takes away this monopoly that the BBC have got, which forces us to pay money to the BBC to watch all these other channels, which are all better than the BBC, the sooner that happens, the better, in my opinion. Rant over. Thank you for watching. Bye.